All right, Brett Mix here, back for the Royal Rumble reviews, and today we're talking about Royal Rumble 2001. Fuck, what a banger. This show had it all. They had one match that didn't deserve to be on the card with Ivory and China, but everything else, classics, ladder match between Jericho and Benoit, the great opener between the Dudley Boys and Edge and Christian, the title match between Triple H and Kurt Angle, and the Rumble match itself, my favorite Royal Rumble probably ever. And could it have been a bit better in parts? Sure. But I really dig this Rumble, and I'm not sure if a lot of people out there do as much as I do, but this 2001 Royal Rumble, I personally enjoy. It's right up there. Lowdown. Let's get into some trivia first. Lowdown what beat Kai and Tai on Heat, and the winners would go to the Royal Rumble, but Drew Carey actually took the spot, so Lowdown didn't end up going in. This event took place from New Orleans. Steve Austin broke the record for his third Rumble win at this event. This was the 14th annual Royal Rumble. They took place in front of 16,056 fans. I read from the review. I used to write reviews for a wrestling website, and on most of my reviews, I give a disclaimer that I'm not plagiarizing, but I'm reading from my old review and from the show I just watched, and I'm just going to meet somewhere in the middle to review and give my ratings on these matches. I don't currently work for this website. That's just the disclaimer that I keep repeating in all these reviews. Sorry if you've heard it a million times. I just don't want Daniel B, the moderator of this website, to get back at my review content. Nonetheless, Kane broke the record for most eliminations in this Royal Rumble with 11. Diesel had 7. I don't know if that was the runner-up to this point, but Kane's 11 was pretty big deal. Kane lasted the longest in this Rumble, obviously. Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler do the commentary with just them two as a unit, just them two doing commentary for a third time at this event. And the Big Easy, I believe it's called, this Royal Rumble. They opened it up with the Dudleys and Edge and Christian, and these teams relied on weapons and hardcore holy shit moments, but you gotta say something when these two teams could just bring straight wrestling to pop a crowd. The crowd was ready for the Royal Rumble event, and these two teams, they just wrestled a great match that didn't rely on those spots. They just had action all throughout. It was very, you could tell these guys were veterans. These guys weren't new to the dance. They've been here before. It's not their first rodeo. And really, the pacing was just phenomenal. Near fall after near fall. In the end, at just 9:59, 1 second short of 10 minutes. Excuse me. Just short of 10 minutes, the Dudley Boys won the Tag Team Championship, and it was just such a hot opener. Good psychology. The styles complemented one another. I give this 3.25 stars. After rewatching it, I give it 3.5 stars. So that's how I'm going to stand on 3.5 stars. The next match was arguably the greatest match in Royal Rumble history. Either that or Cactus Jack and Triple H from the year before this. It's Jericho and Benoit, the ladder match for the IC title. Benoit, his head, he used his head like a pincushion. It just blew itself up. He dove through the ropes, and Jericho hit him with the chair and caught him right there. He forgot to put his hand first. It was just sickening to watch the thud. This match is one of the best ladder matches because it was quality over quantity. They didn't even get 15 minutes to work, and Jericho won with a great spot with the walls of Jericho on top of the ladder, and he won ultimately by keeping Benoit under the ladder, which was also a good spot. And yeah, Jericho went to hell with Benoit. And I said it wasn't 15 minutes because that's what I recollected, but it's actually 18:44. So yeah, nearly 20 minutes these two guys went at it. I gave this 4 stars, 3/4. and I'll stick with that. The next match I'm not going to review because China and Ivory put on a dud. This whole storyline with China being injured at this event, she did like a couple backflips into her reverse elbow. She's whiplash in her neck, and she went down, and they treated this like it was the Owen Hart thing that just happened 19 months before with the King running to the ring and the crowd talk, the commentators talking like this, talking in the voice. I know they were instructed to do that, but come on, just for an Ivory versus China angle, it's just 19 months removed from the Owen Hart incident. I thought it left a bad taste in my mouth. And moving on, dud. Kurt Angle with Trish in his corner versus Triple H with Stephanie in his corner, and that becomes relevant because it became a wild cat fight for the WWF title. These are both heels at the same time going at it for the championship. A little bit interesting. Triple H was more of a tweener. The fans were rooting for Triple H until Austin came out during this match and kicked the shit out of Triple H. Angle ended up winning with Austin's help. Before that, these two guys put on a classic. It was Angle is a great tactician, but Triple H, he proved in this match he was too, and he went toe to toe with Kurt Angle. If you like technical wrestling, this is a good one. They slowed the pace up, and Triple H worked a lot on Kurt Angle's extremities. Angle remembered to sell. He wasn't the greatest seller ever because he's knocked on that online by giving tons of suplexes when Angle could be out of it and he could be selling his leg. He'd just pop out of nowhere and give a suplex. Well, in this match, Angle remembered to sell, and you can't really get mad at Angle. I think the online I think his reputation gets tarnished a little bit for not being the best seller, but he really job in this match. Does a good job in a lot of other classics. So I don't know where that opinion became so popular, but online, I've been online since 1997, so I know a lot of the opinions that have been online, and that was one of them. Just found it quite odd because Angle picked up this whole wrestling thing very, very quickly. Either way, during the match, Trish and Stephanie went at it. Vince McMahon had to break up them with the whole Vince and Trish storyline going on. Austin's interference, as I said, the crowd went nuts, stunned Triple H, and Jim Ross has an excellent quote at the end of this match. I rated this match 4 stars, by the way, and I'll keep that rating. And Jim Ross says at the end of this match, well, Triple H a few weeks ago cost Stone Cold that title, and by God, tonight, Stone Cold has cost the game that same piece of gold. While Angle's theme is going off, that's what JR said. And it just sounded so cool when he went, and by God, tonight, with Angle's like epic theme playing in the background. Check that moment out if you are about to watch the show. All right, this Royal Rumble had a better roster than the year before. Again, we're improving the Rumble as the years go. 99 was better than 98, not the in-ring Rumble, but the roster. 2000 was better than 99, and 2001 is better than 2000. And you could even argue that 2002 and 2003 are better than the years before as well. Because 2002, 2003, that was when the Attitude Era met the New Generation, or the Ruthless Aggression Era, and a bunch of young guys in 2003 with a bunch of older names there too. We'll get to that. This is first 2001. The names entered in order were Jeff Hardy, Bull Buchanan, Matt Hardy, Farouk, Drew Carey, Raven, Al Snow, Perry Saturn, and Steve Blackman. Those were the first 10 names. So basically, in the early parts of the Rumble, the Hardys were working on Bull Buchanan and then Farouk, and then all of a sudden it became just Drew Carey until Kane came out. And then Kane was in there with Drew Carey. Raven and Kane battled a little bit while Drew Carey still waited. Then Al Snow came out, and Drew Carey said, see ya, after Kane was going to chokeslam him. And then Perry Saturn came out, as did Blackman, as I mentioned, and it was just a hardcore Rumble it turned into there. And Grandmaster Sexay and the Honky Tonk Man came out, and the Honky Tonk Man was one of the only guys in the ring at the time because Kane just eliminated pretty much everyone. And Kane take the honky tonk arm and smashed it over his head. Then The Rock came out, and The Rock and Kane went one on one, and the crowd went crazy in New Orleans. The Good Father came out, another RTC member. Taz came out, Bradshaw came out, Albert came out, Hardcore Holly came out, K-Quick, then Val Venus, and those were 10 to 20. Those were the people that came out 10 to 20. Throughout this, The Rock kept it entertaining. I remember there was a spot with Taz being eliminated quite early. He just came in and he only lasted like half a minute. I believe Kane eliminated him, and the crowd booed. I mean, here you have Taz that debuted at the Rumble the year before in 2000, and you think big things for this guy. But then he just got eliminated, and the crowd did not like it. From 20 to 30, we had Val Venus, William Regal, Test, The Big Show, Crash Holly, The Undertaker, Scotty 2 Hotties, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Badass Billy Gunn, Haku, and Rikishi. So that the Rumble's best 10 of the three quarters were 20 to 30. That was, you got The Undertaker, Kane, Austin, or not Kane, you got The Undertaker, Austin, Billy Gunn, William Regal, and Test. That's a good 10 right there. So the climax of this Rumble was great. The whole Rumble was great. It had a good pace, but the climax with Undertaker and Kane working together, and then it coming down to the final four, and then Austin and The Rock were all bloodied, both in the corners, staring down one another before they had their epic brawl. Kane there lasting so long, eliminating all these men. Who's going to win? Down to Austin, Kane, and The Rock. It was really entertaining. Rikishi was also a big candidate, as he had turned heel a couple months before when he ran down Austin. So Rikishi at the number 30 entrant was something to see. Anyways, it came down to it being Austin and Kane, as Kane eliminated The Rock, and by then we all knew that Austin was going to win, but him coming over a giant like Kane was a great ending. It was just scripted so well, and they produced it well. Stone Cold won at 101.55 by clotheslining him out of the ring after consecutive chair shots at a stunner. My personal favorite Rumble match, and a classic way. Great show. 4.5 stars I rated this Rumble. Final pay-per-view rating, I gave it a 9 out of 10. The only thing taken away from this pay-per-view was the Ivory and China match. But it's one of my favorite Rumbles, and if you liked it as well, maybe hit the like button, hit subscribe if you like these reviews. I'm Brett Mix, and we'll catch you on the next one.